becoming true to our nature. Our nature is the expression of love. Why would our nature be the expression of love? Well, once we can access the point of attention between the heart and the mind, we can start to understand the difference between agendas. The mind's agenda is to completely program our perception or our reality or our focus on this reality, on this world, and how we are meant to go by it, and how we're meant to succeed within it, and how we're meant to develop within the truth of this reality. The existence of the heart is existence itself. Without the heart's truth, without the heart's essence, beat, pulse, life force, we would literally be just a computer system. You add the heart and you create life within the computer system. Once we start to examine that the reality we're living in is only a programmed by the mind for us to be convinced that this is existence as we know it. Once we can start to focus our attention on infinite possibilities, infinite truth, infinite love, we shift out of this perception, or we shift out of this reality, dimension, whatever you want to call it, and we start to move into a realm of infinite truth, infinite possibility, infinite love, and infinite existence. And it's the heart which connects. It's the heart's superpower or super ability or super truth that is the divine in conductor of this truth. And as long as our egos or our minds are convincing us of one very powerful thing, which is ignorance, if the mind is always convincing us of ignorant vibrations which fall under maybe jealousy or neglect or hatred or any sort of dense egotistical states of perception, will always be limited to accessing our divine truth or our infinite potential or our infinite heart's existence, because the heart doesn't hold on to things as it's the expression or it's the force or it's the ignition of existence. It's the life force of divine construction. It's the mind which likes to hang on to things. It's the mind which likes to convince ourselves of what we think we know and what we think is to be true. And as long as we're stuck in this perception, we will always be stuck in this perception. Nothing will change. We can't get out of it. The only way out is in. And once we start to focus our attention in, we start to manifest and resemble love itself. We start to examine and start to establish a self sense of enlightenment and a self sense of growth, a self sense of spirituality, a self sense of higher living within the heart, within the existence of oneself. When we're always looking and looking out of the self, or listening and judging, or listening and criticizing via our minds, we're only limiting ourselves to our own true potential, our own true growth, as the information we're hearing is potentially only being used as a form of our own self-ignorance, because we're using information to convince ourselves that that's wrong and this is right. But there is nothing to be wrong and there is nothing to be right. There is only information, there is only vibration. And depending on what vibrational forces we're conducting to, or we're manifesting within, or we're resembling within ourselves, or we're conducting to, depending on what forces or what energy fields we're resembling within, is in essence what we will be expressing to be true within this present moment. So if we're open and expressing infinite possibility, we become infinite possibility. We become the unknown, and we become a divine truth, divine love, divine, as long as we believe it.